Jaggi and Daljeet, right? So Jaggi is this supersonic, cool, chic, sexy guy, every inch of the smart, savvy guy. He's a lawyer, and Daljeet is a goofy, sentimental poet kind of a guy who looks at women and falls for them like there's no other woman in the world. And now, what happens is they live in Ooty, and while driving back from a party one fine day, they knock an old man down, and what they do, instead of calling the cops or doing something about it, they take the old man, they put him back into his house because the old man had literally been knocked out outside his gate, the gate of his house. They take the old man back into his room, put him up on his chair, and they leave the place. And Daljit, who's driving the car, um, is who's the more naive of the two, is determined that they should not report the crime, and but he also leaves a lot of clues all over the crime scene. And the wealthy elder brother Jaggi, who's also an attorney, actually is the one who tries to manage the situation, takes control of the situation. And this is the story of what happens when everybody around them starts getting suspicious about the two of them and the death.
And what did you think of it, Em? What did you think?
Oh my God. I thought, number one, my first reaction to this entire thing, of course, we spoke to both Jaideep and Zeeshan before the show, and the interview's up on our website, by the way. Guys, if you haven't watched the interview, please go ahead and go watch it. It's on our Instagram, it's on our Twitter, but it's also on our website. Jaideep and Zeeshan can do this too, because I've never seen Jaideep. Jaideep is my cop from Patal Lok. He's the killer from Gangs of Wasseypur. He's always been this cop format. To see him in this sexy attorney thing, if he is so cool. Oh my God, I absolutely loved his character. And then Zishan playing this goofy character who is actually, he's distrustful of his brother. he's he's all of it together. He doesn't know where he fits in. And just to see the chemistry of these explosive, amazing actors together while they're being directed by none other than Shaad Ali. Oh my God. I thought I was sold on the series much before I watched it. But after I watched it, I swear to God, I was literally, there were parts of the series I was watching it, I was literally jumping off the couch because it was so funny, so subtle, so beautifully written, so amazingly executed. And these two guys literally did, I'm pretty sure they didn't need the director to tell them anything to do. They knew what to do. What did you think?
I thought, oh my God. First of all, I thought the plotline was hilarious. Like that in and of itself, just following the story of this old man that they just put right back up, that's funny. But what I cannot get over is the banter between these two. It just knocked my socks off watching the comedy. Sometimes I don't even think they meant to be funny, but it was still so hilarious. And it's such tasteful humor. It's so tasteful where you don't even know you're about to laugh, and it seems like such normal dialogues. You just crack up. It really reminds me of an equivalent would be Step Brothers. If anyone has ever watched Step Brothers, it's the same vibe. Or you've ever seen A Hangover, it's the same vibe. Like nothing is outright just making jokes, but it might as well be stand-up comedy because you're just cracking.
And also about this entire show, you don't know whether you're gonna see comedy, or there's gonna be sarcastic remark, or there's gonna be some twist. You don't know what to expect in the second frame, and that is what keeps you so hooked.
And the characters that just keep coming in, like Samuel Alvarez, who's played by like Asrani, who is terminally sick with cancer, and then they have like a nurse who's treating her, Sheila. And I'm just like, these random characters that keep coming in, that keep adding issues to the plotline. They're just so funny. Like they're so tasteful. It's perfect that they're there. And I know it's meant to be like a serious character, but they add to the witticisms of the conversation. It's perfect.
oh man, one scene I cannot forget. Hey, Shreya, you remember when he brings in Doshyant, his private
Yeah.
investigator, in, and he
Mhm.
introduces. So there's Zeeshan's character and Tina Desai's character. They're sitting there and having coffee or whatever, and he brings in the best private investigator in Ooty, and this guy's standing by the door with a stupid pose, that Krishna pose, and he's just standing there in a Krishna pose. And I mean, I'm like, what?
It's mad, like it's mad tasteful humor. It's
Just
it's like
can't,
stand-up comedy met a TV
like,
show.
I can't get a scene out of my head because it was so brilliantly executed. Because you're like, what is happening? But then he becomes the biggest problem, right?
I loved it. I loved it. Highly recommend. I think if you guys need to take a weekend off, a load off, watch a show, this is the one for you. It's so
But
good.
honestly, you really don't need to even take a weekend off, because hello, hello, hello. The good part is 6 episodes, right? And all of
Right?
them are really manageable.
Yeah, they
The
are.
episodes are, I think, two of them are 40 minutes. The rest are like 30 minutes. Literally. They literally amazingly manageable time. You can
And
actually binge it in an afternoon.
I appreciate that because sometimes I feel like some series are made longer because they take all these long pauses for dramaticisms and things, and they don't have
There's
that.
nothing.
There's
There's
nothing like
nothing
that.
here.
It's like everything that's in the show is just relevant to that singular plot line. It's so tasteful. And I think tasteful is the right word sometimes because like directorially, people pick and choose like what's relevant. And it's just so tastefully done. Like, oh, it was such a manageable watch. We highly recommend. Loved it.
I thought the writing of the show was so phenomenal. Every sentence meant so many things.
Something. Yeah.
The way humor, I mean, I think dark humor and this kind of a storyline, especially when you're adding thriller to it, you're adding crime to it, you're adding so many things to it. It is so difficult to pull off dark humor. And
Mhm.
this is real humor. I mean, you literally laugh your heads off at the situations.
Right.
It is so brilliantly put. And then the cinematography. Who did that camera work? Oh my God, Vikash Nolaka, please take a bow, because oh my God, the cinematography, how you capture the fog of Ooty, how the
Mhm.
camera pans the roads, how the vehicles. I mean, just every damn frame is so beautifully panned.
Loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I highly recommend. You're right. The cinematography was, you know what I couldn't get over? I think it's so funny sometimes to see the contrast between like how they make the main two characters look versus how they make the rest of the world look. So they made the main characters look like really like clean and pristine. Like I don't know how to explain that. Like they're like top notch, and the rest of the characters are just like the slightest bit shaggy on the edges. It's like as if the main two characters were trying to portray themselves as perfect like the whole time to overcompensate for like the act that they did, and everyone else just looks a little shaggier around them because they're very normal people leading
But
like very normal lives with no real secrets to hide.
exactly,
But
but then you later come to know what all they are doing, right? Oh
it's
man.
so good. It's tasteful. Incredible. Like the attention to detail was incredible. The attention to detail, especially right. He's standing there with the Kristen pose for no reason. You're like, the body language.
Like,
Wow.
boy, what the hell are you doing? You're like, seriously? And, and and the expression on the brother's Daljeet's face, he's like, the best what investigator in Ooty? And then his brother looks at him and he's like, yes, 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 the best investigator. Oh, the best part was they deposit the dead body back, all right? And he actually leaves his wallet next to the dead. Whoa, who does that? He actually does that.
We won't give away anymore because we want you guys to watch it. I feel
Oh
like we
man,
definitely
it
told you a
is so
majority of
funny. It is
it.
so well executed. But you know what I absolutely loved about the show is uh just those two actors. The chemistry was explosive. You just did not need anybody else. When those two are in the frame, you can't look anywhere else.
You really can't. You really can't. And with that, we leave you with our highest recommendations. We have given you a rundown of everything that we've watched this week. And there's 3 out of 4 things that you definitely should be spending your time on. So with that, we are heading into another song.
Absolutely. And we're gonna listen to this special song. It is Zalima Coca-Cola, Nora Fatihi's song, Danish Bakchi. Here we go. Listening to it right now.